Hi guys, so in today's video we will be going through the process of loading data from Google Cloud Storage to BigQuery using the load data command. So let's get to it. Before we get started, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please take a second and click the subscribe button so that the next time I make a similar video you will be notified. Alright, so again, like I mentioned in this video, we will be going through the process of loading data from Google Cloud Storage to Google BigQuery using the load data command. In one of the previous video, I walked through the process of loading data again from Google Cloud Storage to Google BigQuery, but on that one we focused on the browser method. So in this video we will be using the query, the load data command, to do that. So here I have put the steps that we will go through in order to achieve this process. So the step number 1 is we get our file ready, and then the next step is we upload this file to Google Cloud Storage. The next step is to create our BigQuery dataset, and then after that we prepare the file schema fields, which is what we have down here, and then finally we load our data to BigQuery. Alright, so let's go to step number 1 and let's get our file ready. So for that I have this file here that I downloaded from Kaggle. If you want to use the same file, I have put a link in the description where you can download this file and follow along. Alright, so we have these fields, and this file has around 3,900 records. Alright, so this is the file that we will be uploading to Google Cloud Storage and then eventually load to BigQuery using the load data command. So again, here is our file, and now that we have our file, the second step is to upload this to Google Cloud Storage. So let's get to that step. So let's go to Google Cloud Storage and upload that file. So here I have Google Cloud Storage dashboard open, and to get here all you have to do is go to navigation menu and go to Cloud Storage and Buckets. Alright, so and you can choose your bucket here. For me, again, I'm going to use these CK tutorials, and if you do not have a bucket and want to know the process of creating and uploading files to a bucket, be sure to check one of the previous videos that I made where I went in detail through the steps of creating and uploading files to Google Cloud Storage. So again, in this video I already made this bucket, and I will be using it for this video. So I will go inside this bucket, and this is where I want to upload that file. So I'm going to click upload files, and this is that file, customer shopping trends. So I'm going to upload that file. It's a CSV file. Alright, so here is our file, and it is now uploaded. Alright, so we are through with step 2. So our next step then is to create our dataset in Google BigQuery. So let's go to BigQuery now and create our dataset. So here I have a tab open for BigQuery. If you want to know the steps to get here, all you have to do is go to navigation menu and click BigQuery, and then it will bring you here. So this is a project that I'll be using for data engineering. Yours may be different. So all you have to do is navigate or just expand this, and here I have a number of datasets. Datasets are basically like schemas, and this is one that I already created before for CK tutorials. If you want to create a new one, all you have to do is just click here and create a dataset. And here you will need to put the dataset name, and you can leave the rest of the others default and just create. So I'm not going to do that. I will use this one for CK tutorials that I already created. So I'm going to go inside this, and so basically this is a dataset that we will use to load our file to from Google Cloud Storage. Now that we have our dataset ready, let's go again and check our steps and see what is left. So we have our dataset ready. So then our next step is to prepare the schema fields and load the data to BigQuery. Alright, so this next step is basically what this video is about. How do we compose this query? Alright, the load data command. How do we compose it and have it pick our data from Google Cloud Storage and dump it to BigQuery? Alright, so these are the steps. All you have to do is specify this command, load data, and we have two other commands that come after that, or 2 other options that come after the load data. So the first one is overwrite, and then the other one is into. So in this first option, we will use overwrite. So what overwrite does is that it is going to overwrite your table in BigQuery if it's already there. And if it is not there, it's going to create this table and load the data from Google Cloud Storage to this table. Alright, so this is what overwrite does. It basically overwrites the data. So I'm going to show you in a minute the other option, which is into. And basically what that does is append the data. It's not going to overwrite it. Alright, so the first one we will walk through is this one for overwrites. So again, the query itself is load data overwrite, and what comes after this is your table. So this is the table that will be created in BigQuery, and this is how you specify the schema for that. You put your project ID, dataset ID, and the name of the table. This table does not need to be already created. BigQuery is going to create it when we run this command if it's not there. Alright, and then after this, the next thing is to specify the columns. So these are the columns for the table that will be created in BigQuery. Now if you look at the data that we are using, it also has some of the headers. So we will be using this as a blueprint. So all I did basically is rename this header. So like customer ID, I just put it as customer ID, and the data type for that is integer, and then the next one is age, so I put this one age, and this one also seems to be an integer. Alright, and again the next one is gender, so I just named it gender and put it as string. So I just went through the same process for the rest of the other fields. Put the data type and the name. So when our table is created, then it's going to pick up these fields. So I sort of customized it. So once you have this first part ready, the next part is to specify where your data is coming from. So you put this option from files, and here we want to specify what the format is. In this case, our file is CSV, and we want to skip the leading rows, so that is the header. And the reason we want to do that is because we are creating our own. We are customizing the fields, so we are skipping the headers in the file. And then the URI comes next. So basically this is the location of the file, where it's located. So to get this, all you have to do is go to GCS and then click the file, and you can copy it from here. This is the URI. So I just copy it from here and put it right here. Alright, cool. There's a typo here. I'm going to correct that. Alright, so now our query is ready. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in BigQuery. So I'm going to open a new tab here and paste it right here. Alright, so again, BigQuery is pretty nice. It will tell us right here if there's an error. In this case, there's no error, so that means that our query is good to go. And again, if you scan through this is that query that we prepared. So all it's doing again is it is using this load data command, and it's overriding it. So if the table is already there, it's going to override it. If it's not there, it's going to create it. And then these are the columns and the data types, and it's getting it from this location in cloud storage, skipping the first row, and our format is CSV. So I'm going to run this command. So as you can see, our query successfully completed, and here we can go to our table and ta-da! See, previously we only had one insurance table, and now we have another table created. And you can also see the same here. So we have those fields as we specified and the respective data types. And if you go to the details section, you will see that we have the number of rows that have been loaded to be 3,900, and we can also preview the data. Okay, so you can see that our data is now loaded. Alright, so this is the same thing that we see in our CSV file here. So that's the process of loading data from Google Cloud Storage to Google BigQuery using the load data command. And the option we used here is override. Now assuming you already have the data in your table and you don't want to override it, you want to append to it. How do you do that? So let's get to that. So for that, I'm going to copy 10 records from our existing file, and I'm going to create a new CSV file out of this, and I will save it as a CSV file. So I'm going to save it on desktop, and I'm going to name it as shopping trends, and I will choose CSV for this. Okay, so we are going to load this additional record. So I think we have here, without the header, we have 11 records. So our table here has 3,900 records. So if we load this additional 11 records, we should have 3,911. Okay, so we have this file saved. I'm going to upload it to GCS. So I will go to GCS packet and upload that file. So we saved it on desktop as shopping trends. So I'm going to choose that and upload it. Okay, so that has been uploaded here, and I'm going to open it and copy the URI for that, and I will put it, let's just edit it directly from BigQuery. So this is that command that we used, so I'm going to paste it here, right here. And again, like I mentioned, we want to append this data, so instead of overwrite, we will use into. Okay, and we just have to run it. Basically, that's the only thing. Again, we have 11 records, so we are appending that data to this table using the load data into command. So this will append the 11 records, and it is skipping the header. All right, so let's go ahead and execute this. So I'm going to run it. All right, so that completed successfully. So let's see how many additional records were added now. So here, this is still 3,900, so we need to refresh it, and here we go. So as you can see, the additional records have been added, the 11 records that we just added. Alright guys, so basically that's the process of loading data from Google Cloud Storage to Google BigQuery using the load data command. This command is very useful if you want to avoid using the browser version, because that is a lot of clicking. So if you just want to have a query that will load your data from Google Cloud Storage to Google BigQuery, I hope this command is going to help you out. Alright guys, I hope this video was useful. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button now, so that the next time I make a similar video, you will be notified. Alright, bye bye.